Okay. Well. I'm just not ready yet. Just not ready. Not at all. I want some tunes. Oh. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me okay. So here's the gist of what I'm doing. There's been an honor roll update. Do I have that information with me? Yes. So custom world maps. So obviously comments are funny, hilarious. Hey honor roll fans, there is a new update available which features the ability to load your own custom built maps. So Skater XL has custom maps. Pipe sort of has custom maps. Honor roll needs custom maps. It's cool. We were sort of getting there with adjusting models. E4I was making headway with his shred pool model. I have some pictures. I can show you some pictures of the shred pool mod as it currently stands. Like, he's done some amazing things. Let me just open the original, see if that opens up for you. Look at that. Like, so he's making some headway with models. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's unbelievable. So what does that mean for honor roll? So now obviously you're going to need, if you want to take part in this process, it's entirely up to you. I will be doing it. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to do it again until I've got that process nailed. But I'll explain what's actually been released. So if I open up my honor roll folder now, there's a new folder, customization. So when you come in here, I'm just going to delete this because we don't need that base. So this is what you get. You'll get a readme file. Let me bring this over. So you'll get a readme file. So we're in Steam Apps, Common, Honor Roll. Like I say, new folder, customization. You've got a zip file that contains a base package containing all of the elements that you would need in order to import your own map. So it contains the level masks for things like the grind system, the ramp system, the quarter pipe system, the stairs, things like that. So this is what you're after here, this custom map test. We're going to open this up in Unity. This is a project folder for Unity, and you'll need a specific Unity build because that's the build that Honor Roll is currently on, but we'll go over that. We'll go over that when we go through this here. So do I have this open? Quit Opera? No. That's okay. Oh, maybe we do. It's just on another screen. Okay. So this is the version you'll need, 2017.4. Click this link, it will take you to it. But just be aware of the model the version number when you are downloading Unity. Unity is a very friendly, consistent program these days. I don't know how much has changed between this version and the more modern versions, but this is the version that we'll be using. It's quite similar to the Skater XL modding technique, so if you've used that, but this is a developer-built way of doing it, so it's a little bit, I'm not going to say it's simpler as such, but I don't know. I've never tried to do intense modding on Skater XL. So what we're actually going to do to start things off is just go through this a little bit. So we'll zoom in, full screen you. So yeah, for compatibility reasons, this version of Unity. So to create a custom map, to be fair, to start this off, to create a custom map, you'll first need access to either Blender to make your own map, or a .fbx or a .obj of another map. So what I do have access to, and what we are going to do today, just for the simplicity of keeping things quick and short, is I actually have access to a .fbx that I was sent over by Enox. So if I open it up, you'll see what I'm going to be doing. So it's on the desktop somewhere, .fbx. So this is his indoor map that he originally made for Pipe, I think, and then obviously transitioned quite well to Skater XL. So as you can see, we've already got all the individual models in Blender here. We've got these ramps, quarter pipes, grind boxes, this rail. It's kind of cool. Little man here for scale. We're actually going to bring in our own man in Unity just for scale. But what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to get on a roll whoever we decide to skate with, to be able to roll on all these different objects and grind these handrails. This quarter pipe here, we'll be able to grind this. But it's a bit of a long process. You need to be patient, and we're actually not going to be using Blender. This is just to show you what we're going to be actually doing. Now I'm not sure if putting the textures on here will help me. Obviously there's no one in the chat, so I can't ask anyone for advice, but I'm just going to do it in Unity for the sake of making things simple. So I'm going to close down Blender. We're not going to do a tutorial on Blender today. What we are going to do is Unity. So when you've got Unity downloaded, you're going to head to your on a roll folder, customization. No, you're not. You are going to do that, but on your system here. So this folder, you want to drag that folder out somewhere simple. I always put it on my desktop. You'll see that it actually has some stuff in it already. So if you go into assets, you'll see things like textures. We don't necessarily need to worry about these, but you will see those in Unity when we open the package. So here I am in Unity, open, find your project, and you just literally need to click on that one, select that folder, and then Unity will open. And we'll go through this and how to set some stuff up first. Or at least if you've no understanding of Unity, we'll go over that and then I'll explain what some of Unity is. I'm very new to Unity, it's very fresh for me too. So, when you first open up Unity, this is what you'll get. But because we've opened up the on a roll custom package, you'll see this is a new window up here, a new tab, on a roll. So that's the custom tools that Yella has installed into this Unity package. You'll be able to find those prefabs here. So things like the grindable system. So when you've got an object in the game, like a handrail, you can essentially drag the grindable object onto it and set up the points for the grinding. But I'm going to show you how to do that manually because it's just as simple. I haven't actually tried to use the prefabs yet, but I will get round to giving that a go. I'm just going to do it the way that I currently know it. So the first thing we want to do, I'll just have this how it normally is. So we're going to be importing models, but I don't feel it necessary to put it in the models folder, but you can for simplicity. So we're going to import a new asset. Now I know where mine is. You may have a different map, but I just have the pipe indoor map from Enox. So I'm going to pull that in. So immediately, already in Unity, we are in the game. This is step one. We're done. I'm not going to be sharing Enox's file because it's not really my place to do so. But I'm just going to kind of walk you through that process. Obviously, some people are pretty good at 3D modeling. I'm not great at it, but I'm willing to learn. So one other thing I can do is in textures here, I can literally pull in all the textures that are relevant to this. So I can import new asset. Now I've got the PBR, so I can import all of these. Ah! Maybe not. Let's give this another go. Drag and drop. Now this might seem like a long process, but if you're going to create a map like this, it's obviously going to take time. You've really got to be committed to know what you want to create. I want to create some street spots. I don't just want to focus entirely on parks, as much as I like parks. Having the tools to be able to create whatever we want will be very good for video production. Like, making videos is going to be a hell of a lot of fun now, guys, because we can literally make whatever we want now. No restrictions. However, I'm just waiting for it to import because I want to show you this process as well. If someone has a better way of importing and exporting a full Unity package or a full Blender model with the textures in place, please do let me know. I don't know if an OBJ will do that, because it's a much easier process to do this in Blender. Because he sent me the entire package, everything's already set, all the axes are set. And you'll see that when we actually start importing the textures in Unity, because they are actually already set, so it's quite clearly just drag and drop, and there is the potential to put normals in. I'm not too fussed right now, just want to get some textures in so that it looks a little bit more normal, but get it in the game, show you how to get the maps in the game. And show you some of the stuff that you actually potentially need. Things like the spawn point. Setting up the ground so that you can roll on it, which is all done up here with this on roll tab, so you can set up all the grinds, all the floors and all the ramps as you go, but you're going to have to do it every time you build this model. Now, it's the exporting that's got me. So the instructions that Yella has sent us for exporting maps. So you can manually set your quarter pipes and half pipes. You can set up your grindables. So you can find the prefab. So obviously you'd have a consistent naming system for each of your points. Yeah, no padding. So after positioning your grind marker hierarchy, it's time to convert it to an actual functioning grindable setup. You can do so by using the custom on a roll script found in the on a roll custom map Unity project. So you can literally go on a roll grind setup and set up your grinds. It will show you the setting up of the rails. It's very visual. I'll show you that. It's a good way of doing it. You can also set up the kind of grind. The kind of grind will give you a different sound. And you can choose to change the different sound. So you know, we can do so much with this. So this is one of the bugs that we actually got consistently in one of the first versions, is that the character would fly off to previous locations of your grindables. One of the custom map scene and one for the custom assets which you use to build your map. This includes models, prefabs, textures, materials, etc. So you need to save the scene. If I'm right. So we have now got all of our materials in. We won't be doing that right now. However, here's the scene. But what I want to try and do is file, save scene as. Inox. And then we have this scene saved as Inox. So I want to add this to custom map scene, I believe. And then anything that's in the game, for instance, specifically this should be under assets, if that makes sense. And any materials that I use where have I put them? Textures. Any textures that I use should also be under assets. So now when I actually build my scene, which I do by going to in your on roll window here, you've got grind setup, skatable surface setup, and then you can build a custom map. So the build custom map will show you as we get a bit further along. However, let's start off by first testing to make sure everything works. So I'm going to make this first plane here, and only this plane, is set up a skatable surface. So that's done. So it's a mesh collider. We could probably change that to a plane, a cube or something, but that's fine. Material, you can change the material here, so you get different sounds depending on the material that you choose. So it's a concrete. I'm happy with that. That's okay. You get your surface friction. So if you've got grass, you can change the friction. So that's already a good start. What I want to do is drag in a spawn point. Just want to make it a bit higher up than that. So now we've got my spawn point and one flat surface. I'm going to save my scene. Double check the surface is set up. Control C. So the hierarchy is pretty important in Unity, and we'll be going through all of that. But I want to make sure we've got the spawn point. Not too fussed about the main camera, so we can delete that. We can also delete the directional light. The last time I did, it all went a bit pear-shaped, so I'm going to keep it in for the minute. Save it one more time. And then we're going to build custom map window. So the tool builds your custom on a roll map after you've configured both your custom map scene and custom assets to be part of the corresponding asset bundles. So you'll need 2 asset bundles. You click build custom map. This is the big test, isn't it? See if it actually works first try. So right now it's built a lot of crap, to be fair. I've added all the materials to the asset bundle and the scene itself. But I'm hoping that won't be an issue, because I'm still going to be using them anyway, so it's still going to be roughly the same file size. The scene size might change once I add all the textures to the ramps and start adding grindable assets to the rails and the boxes. But let's first just make sure it's working, that we can load it into on a roll. Because that didn't take much, did it? Like, literally, we've made one surface grindable, one surface rollable. So we'll roll through everything, but then we'll know for a fact that the game launches the level, that we've got everything set up already. And those processes are just the same if you're doing it one by one. So if you're bringing in an asset and then you bring in a material for said asset, you drag them in, you place them, you get them set up in the scene, then you add them to the right asset bundle, whether that's scene or ironically, you just any assets just go into one asset bundle. So you just got to remember to add everything. And then when we get on to doing the grinds and the ramp setup, because there is some quarter pipes, and I want to put quarter pipes in, and I want to put a grind along that kink quarter pipe at the end. That's going to be sick. So let's just see how we get on. And then today, I've got some time today, so today we will try and get the Inox map finished live. It might take a few hours. But if anyone joins me later on, they can obviously go back and watch the beginning of the video, because we have gone through that whole process to start with. Anyone with 3D modelling will be able to get to this point. That's for certain. Like, it's easy to get to here. We're just going to compress it. This doesn't normally take this long, but because it's, you know, there's a lot going on. I'm just concerned that directional light is going to fuck us up, because the last time I put the directional light in, it was really bright. Mostly because everything was shiny and we had no normal maps on anything. Okay, so. Oh, that's good, that's good. So once you've done that, if you actually go to asset bundles here, you'll see the custom map scene, custom map assets. We're going to open Show in Explorer. So we just want to select them both, the scene, assets, and copy them. Now they go in here. So they're both CAC. Let's just get rid of them. We don't want them, because you can see that's how they're already set up in the game. So let's launch on a roll. And see. Just gonna turn my volume down because it'll echo. I'm interested to see if it's worked first try. This will be sick. So I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we've got a new advert, a new intro, powered by WWise. I'm not sure what WWise is, but just gonna turn my system volume down a little bit on roll. So, play custom map. We have custom map. So it's found our files now. It's whether or not it will launch. I've done this before and it's not gone well. However, I've taken my time. I'm in no rush. No rush whatsoever. So if for some reason it doesn't work, we'll try again. Okay. So that's not what I did. I mean, that's the example, but it's not what I did. Let me check something. That's why. That's frustrating. Right, so that's still set up. Oh, that's annoying. It used, okay, so for future reference, delete the old. Look at how much quicker that was with not having both on there. So I've replaced the two files. So that might have just been my own fault because it was still referencing the other level, the other scene. Bearing in mind, I could have created two separate asset bundles and named them whatever I want. I just went with the ones that were already on the base Unity project. You can create your own, and we'll do it again, and I'll show you how to do it with your own Unity asset names. You could just name the map whatever you wanted. I could have named it Enox and then had an Enox scene and assets files. Let's give this a go. Okay, it seems to be loading something. Okay, so we're in. The directional light's messed with us, and the camera has. But this is okay. We're in the game. We're in the game. So, what did that? Cameras. Now there's also, I believe, there's point light. Okay, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to rebuild it. I just want to test it. But that's what this process is. It's building and starting again and building it and starting again. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I should probably have the other one open, shouldn't I? So, custom map assets, custom map scene, copy. I hope I'm making it look easy. It really is not that bad. You do need a system that's capable of doing Unity, you know, playing on a roll, and some Blender. I'm on my RX 580 with the Ryzen 5 1500X. Having a great time. No regrets. Ryzen 5 1500X. Not 580, it's a 6K card. Plenty good enough. So, here we go. Crunch time. Does it work? But anyway, this is the thing. Honor Roll knows what some of these things are. It knows what the camera is. So get rid of all that crap. You can start adding stuff as and when you need to during your scene. I'm only removing stuff that's already in. Shout out to Enox for initially giving me access to his map a while back, in fact. Guess what, guys? We're in. So now it's that easy because now all I've got to do is make this stuff rollable, roll along all of these bits. The replay editor still works in here. This is going to be sick. Have all of this grindable. I might even increase the scale just a little bit. But we're on a roll. So, a couple of things we need to first do. I need to find out why. Okay, there we go. Again, this is still new to me. So I want to try something. Skatable surface. Select all objects with incomplete surface. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing here, to be fair, so. Okay, so I can go through and do them one at a time. However, that there, I'm not sure what that should be. So, given that, So all I'm doing is going through, selecting all the different surfaces and making them mesh collider surfaces. So I can even make the stairs a mesh collider surface. Like ideally everything that you're going to roll across or could potentially roll across. And you can always check because you can see the mesh collider here, you can see the material properties. I can change stuff to wood, which I do plan on doing. Now, this one here is complicated because I feel like so I don't know if that's going to work, guys. If not, lesson learned. Now I'm going to make those surfaces regardless. Same for that handrail because I want to be able to just check that they're working. Can't even grab that rail. I will find it. How peculiar. Okay, so can I see, because it's an object? I don't know. We'll see. We'll soon find out. We'll soon find out how that works. So let's just do a double check and make sure that everything is at least rollable. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up one rail. As you can see, I just kind of dropped the prefab in. I'm not sure why the axes were all off. However, that's not how I'm going to do it today. I'll show you why. So for this one here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the instructions out just to make sure that I'm not messing this up. So for a grindable subject, game object with name of grindable, choose any name you want. So we're just going to rename this flat rail. Okay. So the flat rail needs to have a few empties. So the first one .0. Now placement of this is actually fairly key. However, I kind of really want to figure out how to use this. I don't understand why it's done that. If that makes sense. But maybe if we just give this a go. So okay. Yep. Right, so what we need to do is we need to create the points. So it's done it again though. Okay. Maybe I do get that. Y-axis. Come on, Eric. So I'm reckoning that these will let me set up my grind points. Okay, finally, there we go. So I'm thinking, we'll just get them lined up like that. And then we're going to go side on. So, so we need to add that to the flat rail. So what we'll do is we'll grab the grindable now, which we've pulled in from here, the prefabs. We've sort of put it into place. I'm just going to grab it and move it down to the flat bar. Like so. So it's now a part of the parent object, which is the flat rail. So we've got the grindable. However, we shall see if this is actually going to work. So we want 0.0 to come all the way to the end. 0.1 to come all the way to that end. So in theory, we should be able to grind this. In theory. So, what I'm actually going to try and do is just move them up. Yep. And then I'm going to remove the... no? Yes. Let's give that a go. So, grind setup. So you see what's happened there? Because we've got our first grind setup, 0.0 and 0.1. You can visually see them at the setup. I'm going to invert the direction for the hell of it, just so I can show you that that works. So you can have the it's a coping or a spine coping. So a spine coping you can go over the other side of. But we're going to just keep it as a rail. And we're going to click finalize. Boom. So now it's got the flat rail. It's got the grind points, 0 and 1. You can have up to 1 million. Then you've got the grind collider system, which is what we collide with. Our skater grinds on. And then the slider. So we're going to just save that. Make sure that we're rollable. And then build custom map window, build custom map. Okay, so that's now done. Let's see if this has worked. I'm interested to see if the quarter pipes work. But we'll soon find out. Oh. Like, that was quite an easy process. I'm just interested to see how the grinds will work on the quarter pipes. Should the quarter pipes work as I expect. But I have no idea. Not gonna lie. It's been a wild morning already. Let's have a look. So I'm hoping we'll spawn in. We'll be able to roll up and down everything. We'll be able to jump, set slide on everything, and then hopefully be able to do some tricks on that flat bar, because we've now set up the collider that's going to allow us to grind on it. Now obviously we've got some base materials here. I think that's because of... Okay, so we missed one ramp. and it hasn't worked. Or is it this flat bar? Okay, so it's this flat bar here. That's not so bad. We have got one bar ready. Now the last time I did this as well, I could not get... Okay. Oh, my quarter pipe works. Yeah! Boom. Boom. First trick down. Now, position is going to be key with these grind colliders, because look. So I think we're going to have to be cautious about where we put them, but that rail's going to be sick to scare you. Does this work? So I've yet to figure out what to do about the walls and about how to make them work. Maybe if I give them a surface to row on, it might work. So let's have a nosy now. What was I thinking? What wasn't rollable earlier? That. So, and it does keep all of your surfaces within reason anyway. But this is literally just for testing purposes. That is solely my purpose right now. So as you can see, it's going entirely off the grind collider. So I'm hoping if we move it up just a touch, or maybe if we select it all and just move it all up. Anyway, so from here, what I could do, for example, is from box 1. So I believe I've got this. So that's that one. So like, for example, he sent me all the textures over and they're already kind of set up to fit on so already it's starting to look a little bit better. Sometimes a list can help. So now that works. The problem that I've got with, for example, this one here, this rail is connected to this rail and this box. I would have to, I think, or maybe not. Maybe I could just create 3 separate, like, but see, that's connected to a parent object, so I think I would have to, in Blender, separate these objects so that I could have separate grind colliders for the separate objects. I'm not sure. Maybe we could give it a go. Because I've got here grind points, I've got the flat rail, but these aren't part of the flat rail, like, so because I have to have the flat rail as a single object, I feel like I'm going to have these as single objects. And this rail here, which is now part of these stairs, as a single object. But this rail works. However, what I would like to know is rename foot rail to So I'm wondering if, now that we've got a couple of exact duplicates, can we just do the same? So I'm essentially just moving this one back into place now. However, here's my problem. Can I adjust this? Maybe. And then move it down just to make sure. So, we've got two flat rails. However, this one, we're going to have to do the same for this. Maybe so. So I'm going to save that. Again, we've now got some slight texture to it. We'll set up two grind rails. I just want to check to make sure that they're all outputting properly. So it has the rail scripts. So I'm just hashed that out. I'm not even sure if it's worked, to be fair. In terms of these two rails working, I've just copied over the obviously the grind points and the referencing system. So the point, the collider, and the rail slider. I've actually adjusted them scale-wise to go with it. I don't know if that is relevant. It's okay though, because we're going to build the custom map. Give it a go in on our own and see if it works. What a shocker. The internet is funny. Actually, Daryl, there will be at some point. However, I don't fucking know when. Yellow doesn't know when. Help out and maybe maybe you'll get there quicker. No point crying at me, man. I am literally in the same boat as everyone else. How is it not working? Wood. E4I. I'm not sure, brother. I'm not sure what's happening right now. It seems to be having a moment. Close some bits down. Thank you. He's finished having his little moment. Okay. So. Again, I've still got my original files, custom map scene, custom map assets, copy, place the files, launch on a roll. So it's just a step-by-step process for a lot of it. It's just giving it a go. I've obviously had a bit of time with it now. I had access with the beta to give some of these features a go before the tools were available, just to kind of try and reference some of the game's elements. But now with Yellow sending out the map creation pack, I guess it is just a custom level that you can rip, gut, and put your own your own whatever you want in, and you can do this over and over and over and over, and have as many custom locations as you want, as many as you want. And now that I've sort of figured out how to set up grinds, and I've shown you it's not difficult. It's just going through. If you've got your own custom map, just remember, if you've got grindable objects, keep them separate from each other. So now, boom, we've got textures in. They're a bit shiny. There's no normal maps, there's no bump maps going on right now, but they're in. Now I don't know if this rails worked. Possibly not. But I did set it up in a weird way. We need to set some kind of collision on these exterior walls. Right, so copy and paste does not seem to work. But that's okay, because we can just do this. Because it's made two separate references here. Maybe if we do that. Maybe it's because we messed it up. But you can also do it all by hand, you know, referencing the separate layers and things like that. That's always doable. You can do this live as well. You can exit the game and return to the game. But you can also just exit the level and then come back to the level after copying it over, so you can sort of see any live changes without actually loading and unloading the game. Okay. Just make sure people can hear me. So, new loaded map. So we've got small point, we've got rollable objects, we've now got one grindable object, maybe two. Maybe we found a way to copy and paste the grind live in Unity, so we'll see. No, I feel like that's not happening. So I think that's because we just didn't set it up properly. We tried to cut corners there. Where is that? Right, so we don't need that for a start. Let's sort this back handrail out, and then we'll start looking at more stuff. So let's get rid of all that. But we can continue to use the prefab. Maybe it's the what's inside the grindable. No. I don't know why my origin is all the way over here. That's ridiculous. Remove component. Okay. So again, back to the grind system, because this one's key really. You should have your parent object with the name of your grindable. So yeah, I've got my flat rail. Well, it's a bit annoying that I can't move around. So So this is a bit tedious, but obviously I will get the hang of it. So in here I'm going to create a new empty. So the idea being you set up the hierarchy first, which is definitely easily doable. So I'm just setting my start point roughly. Something like that. So we've now got 0.0 and 0.1. Yeah? We'll just try and keep it simple. Okay, so then I select my rail, grind setup. As you can see, we've got 0 and 1 again. Finalize. Now, I don't understand why it's put it underneath again, but that's okay, because we can just give it another go and see if that works. If that doesn't work, we know we've got to lift it up so that we've got something to grind along the collider as such. If it starts to freak out, we know we've broke it. Custom map. I'm excited because we've had this build for. I've had this build now for well over a week or so, but I've just not had time to play. So you can see there what it's actually grinding on is the collider underneath, but that's okay because we're making progress. So now we can just find our collider. And our real side collider and move them both up. So again, quite a quick process really, wasn't that? I could see that the grind was broken, but it was working. The system was working. We had the collider for us to grind on. That works with kink rails, and works with fucking loops, whatever you want. Any consistent line or plane can be used. And then all it is loading it up every time. But it's not so bad. Now I actually haven't done any Blender work. We will be building something later today. Right now I just wanted to test some of the physics. It was nice to have an already built map. I'm hoping to finish it, and maybe if we can finish it we can put it out with Enox's permission. So I think it's going to be wicked. I can't wait. I'm just intrigued to make sure not only that it all works, but I'm excited to see if I can get it all to work. The ramps, the launches, the walls, get all the textures in, get some lighting in maybe. Drop in some other bits. Now I'm not sure why, but again, it's just trial and error, isn't it? Now sometimes it's not going to be perfect. I forgot about that. So again, make sure you're updating your grind positions and all of your markers. Let's see how we got on this time. Is it gonna load? Yes. I mean, obviously it looks awesome, but it's not working quite as I expected to. But I think that's mostly because Honor Roll uses this system and Enox's map was made using a totally different system. Or with a totally different system in mind anyway. Now I'm not sure quite how to get upstairs, etc. So I imagine it's under surface setup. Okay, so I probably already messed up copings. So it's a substantial amount of fun. It is. Already we've managed to get this map loaded in, and I know it's not mine, it's the Enox map, and I'm honoured that he's let me have the privilege of using it for testing purposes, but it has only ever been for testing purposes. I want to build something as well. So, given that we want to build something, maybe we should build something. Just something to test some of the features, test the grind feature. Maybe make a kink rail, a farmer-esque kink rail, and just see if we can not only get down it, but just see if we can get a kink rail set up. See how many grind points it would actually take. You know, like a 25 stair kink or a 25 kink stair set. Just do. But it would potentially work. We've got all the systems in place now to be able to do this. So I reckon that's what we do. We build something and we skate it. I actually have a lot of assets from Honor Roll as well, so we'll probably build something quite quickly. Now, I do strongly suggest having a plane to start things off. Now, what I actually do have as well is this guy. So he will give me we have cycles rendered today. We could, but we'll stick with Blender. For scale, we have this fella here, and it's usually pretty on point, actually, to be fair. But I think we'll use this fella to potentially scale up. We could even make a roller coaster today. We could genuinely make a roller coaster. But you would need a grind point or a reference point for every kink or turn in your handrail. Now I don't know whether we could use a duplication method. I don't know whether we could create those points in Blender and bring them over into Unity with us. We just got to remember, like, if you're going to build something tall in Blender or 3ds Max or whatever, Maya, that if you want to create something that grinds, it's got to be separate. You've got to have a separate system, it appears. So, and only because you've got to be able to put those placements in, so you can't have loads of objects on one object and then expect to be able to put loads of different grind surfaces on one object. If it's a rail, make it a separate object in your Blender project, so that you can drag it in and put separate properties on that single object. Because I don't know how to actually explode objects in Unity to be able to add separate grind colliders like you just saw. So any design work you do, you should try to focus on keeping things as structured as possibly can, so you're not having to deal with chaos in here. But also when you get into Unity, you can see a lot of your named objects. So you can find your grind boxes, or your 5 sets, or your 20 stair kinks. Daryl, I don't know if you're watching, man, but yeah, I feel your pain, man, but game design's a bitch. First things first. Bear with me 1 second. this special. Okay. Wow. That's annoying as shit. So I'm really trying to get the grind system to work. So I have had it working, but when I launch now, these colliders, the start points, they're showing. I imagine mostly because the collider, for example, has no material. It's a physics material. But these appear to have something. I think maybe it's a transparent. Maybe if we go with none, it's going to go purple, isn't it? Skybox. I've got coping materials already in the game. That's that default particle, so we don't want that, obviously. However, the transparent one is obviously not quite as transparent as I would have liked. Oh, okay. So that might have done that. So having all of the on-roll build tools here is amazing. Just being able to like set your grinds up, set your surfaces up, and then build it. It's nice. It's quick. Very quick. So one thing I've not done is, oh my god, it's non-stop. So it does work very well. So my plan today is just make sure that I understand how it all works. And then later today we're going to do some building in Blender. I'm going to make a street spot. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but that will be later on this evening. Just getting some testing in now, making sure I understand the best ways to use the grind colliders. It's kind of the defining feature of Honor Roll, is the ability to grind stuff. So I'm interested to learn how to use them. I would like to know if I can just drop grind colliders in randomly, because then I could put them wherever I wanted, rather than being tied to an object. They're just a reference point in the world. We'll see. Make sure we can't see those grind points now. And then we'll start working on some more bits. We may also have to adjust the height of these and the placement of these. Because right now it's right in the boot. But that will be because the grind collider is underneath. So if we immediately come in, oops, forgot to do my grinds. Okay, so we'll build a custom map window again. We're going to build a custom map. So those are done. Copy them back into here. So yeah, again, just going to trial and error, seeing where everything fits, seeing how it all works and fits together, and then we'll start trying to mock some stuff up. Again, we're just going to build a simple street spot to start things out. In terms of what that will be, I have no idea. I'll do some googling, maybe build something. There's something quite close to me that I skate regularly. I call them the library rails. They're killer. Now let's see. Now again, I'm not sure what he's trying to grind, but this is all going to be figured out as we go along. You know, because I do want to get it so that it looks good. But maybe it's actually just the initial points. Oh, it's just not working. He's not had a lot of luck with the soul grinds on this current build. He keeps having special moments. That was sick, but if you look, he's pretty much to scale, my little guy is, so pretty much spot on, do you know what I mean? Like, it gives you a good scale of things, and a good sense of where they are. I'm just crafting some M&Ms. I don't even care. So it's generally quite a simple process to go from here to getting it into the game. It will just entirely depend on your commitment to sticking it out. Like the modeling process alone just takes time, forever, and I'm not a good 3D modeler by any means. You know, I'm still learning the ropes, most definitely. However, so now that we have a rough gist of how to use the new grind colliders, we're going to start building. That'll start tonight, this evening, around 10 PM for me here in the UK. So who knows? But we're going to build something. If you have any suggestions for spots you would like to see me attempt to build, by all means, leave them in the comment on the Facebook, or shout them out below in the comments, and I will try and Google them and get some images together. It's just a head like doing it all, like going through that process of getting your level set up and getting it all designed. So obviously we've been through the process now, you know, with the Enox map and then this custom rail set up here, which is obviously very basic and very simple, but it didn't take long to build this, get it in, set up all of the systems that Yellow's put together. It was a doddle, actually, ironically. Now it's just going to be whatever is kind of how restricted my imagination is, shall we say. So there's some cool stuff I really want to try, just to see if I can get some of it to work. So that's things like mega kink rail. The only thing we've not had in on a roll is a huge kink rail. Now I know I could build one easily, more than easily enough. I could mock one up now, build a kink rail, set up a couple of grind colliders. There's going to be a few, you know, you could be up to 20 different separate grind points on a kink rail like that. So, what we need first is my little man. We're also going to delete his camera and his light. Cursor to selected plane. Rotate y minus 90. So, what I want to do realistically, set up a kink rail. To set up the kink rail, first thing I'm going to need to do is figure out its general height. For each kinked section, I guess, give or take. I'm actually going to make it a little bit higher and then I can drop it down into the stairs if needs be. So, we have this. What we're going to do is we're going to add a modifier to this, an array modifier. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep adding more, but the question is, how ridiculous do we want this kink veil? Because obviously this will be the down section here, and this would be a flat section. Now obviously that is overkill. That could work. There's all those vertices. No. So what we need to do is we need to and then obviously it's just going to be a little bit lower. Now all of this will get joined, and then we'll remove all the doubles. I just want to see how that works. You know, that's not bad. Now what we can do, let's just see if that works. Not sure it's going to work from there. Fulfill. Stand corrected. Okay. Very rough. Okay. So, let's have a nosy. Okay, so I have my game object. Which is the rail. have point 1. I'm hoping that's at least sort of right. So that's point 1. Now I'm hoping that I can just duplicate these again. So I'm hoping that if I set up the grind points first like this and then duplicate them for the next rail, that they will carry through to the second rail before I set up the grinds, if that makes sense. So now I'm hoping, as nightmarish as this is, it should transfer very well over to the second kink rail. And apart from curved rails and loops, I can't imagine anything as tedious as having something with this many points in it. So don't know if this is going to work. Okay, that's filled me with hope so far. So we'll go back to perspective mode. To that other mode. So we'll set the surfaces up. So that's another surface. That's another surface. The rail so we need to component grind setup. Obstacles and rails setup rails. Finalize. It's all going to be pear-shaped here, isn't it? I don't know what's going on. very interested to see if this works. So all we did was create a plane, a handrail, very rudimentary handrail, set up a grand collider and all of the points at which the rail takes a turn, hoping we'll spawn where we should be spawning. I mean, we spawned miles away, but that's okay. Oh my god. Huh. Now, to be fair, if we had some textures on it, that'd look wicked. Now that's only on one of the rails, and that took 5 minutes. That's so good. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's so much fun. Now, typically speaking, this rail would normally have a lot more to it, some sustenance, but I've messed up the normals. You can see it's curved the other way around, whereas that one has not. But that's okay, it's not the end of the world. Placement on that's not bad though, is it? I mean, it gets a bit skew-iff when you start throwing him through like mega kinks, but even that looks great. Just absolutely boss. Even glitches aside, so on the other rail you'll notice nothing, because I've not set up the colliders. It doesn't know what you're doing. But on the other one, it knows exactly where the rail is. It's very, very good. However, he still gets a bit confused on that, like 360 alley top one or 360 alley pawn. He's spinning wrong on it. Which is a bit annoying because he's never done that. I don't know when that started. However, my point being, nailed it. glitchy. Now I don't know if ledges are typically better, because I've only just finally figured out how to properly use the tools that he's created for us. However, as you can see, I've just mocked this up randomly in Blender. It took me 2 minutes to make this, and On a Roll knows what he's doing with it. You know, and it's going to be buggy because I'm throwing a lot of new stuff at it. But it looks the bomb. Very pleased. Now, what I want to be able to do is I have these projects going on. One of them was this theatre escapade. A bit rubbish, I know. It was so this is an old project that I had. Exploded. So it's my old skate park from my old hometown, and these are called the Eric Box. This is what's sort of referred to between my friends and I would like to get this working. So I think what I'm going to try and do is, whilst I've got a minute, clean up this file, see if I can do something with it, because it's a bit of a mess. But I'd be interested to see if I can get this stuff working again. Or maybe rebuild it in Blender. It's a bit more modern. I was looking for some awesome street spots, so I'm just googling some street skaters, checking out some images. I mean, there's lots of rollerblading for reference. Lots and lots. Let me just do something. That's okay. Right, so I'm thinking, right, we look at potential skate street spots, see what we can make. You know, it'd be sick. Any of these old school classic IMYTA spots. What is going on with Chrome? Why is it opening them in a weird place? Never mind. Huh. Random On a Roll screenshot there. Okay, each to their own. So I want to make something, and I want to make something simple. Maybe like a boulevard or a long stretch of concrete. Ledges down one side, some cool shit on the other, and get some textures together. Just build something simple, a street spot, like one spot. Close it off, put some shrubbery in, get some textures. This is all going to be something that we're going to do later on this evening. So make sure you come back. I will be posting in the group and on the Discord as to when I'll be back on, but later on today, that's the plan. Dig it and get a street spot made. So what we're going to do, we're going to call it here. Thank you very, very much everyone for joining me. What we are going to do, we're going to close down On a Roll, and we are going to be building later on this afternoon some street spots. We're going to get some nice textures, I'm going to try and do some research whilst I'm out for my tea. So at about 9 PM, give or take, we're going to be back up online. We're going to be up. Going to spend most of the evening and most of the night trying to build some stuff, trying to get some of the features in on a roll working. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back later today. Peace.